Hi everyone and welcome back to another edition of Bruce Ball. Absolutely horrific again today. After the highs of getting a point against Liverpool, we go and put a performance in like that, back to the normal, pass the ball backwards, not give a shit, and end up losing the game. Yes, we fought the last 10, 15 minutes of the game. We changed it up with a couple of forwards on the pitch, but why? Why finish like that? Why can't we start like that and go at teams? I'll tell you why. Steve fucking Bruce is the reason. Tune review. Hi everyone and welcome to the Tune Review. My name is Paul and just reviewing that shower of shite against Leicester City that's just finished. Leicester 2, Newcastle 1 at St James's Park. And again, it all boils down to one thing, Steve Bruce and his tactics. You know, yes, he got it right. We admitted he got it right against Liverpool. We fought for our lives against Liverpool and we got a very good point. Today, quite the opposite. And there's some players that I'm going to pick out in this review and just say, not good enough. Because really, you know, he puts the 11 on the pitch and you'd expect more from the players as well as the manager. But we are clueless. Absolutely clueless. We are clueless from start to finish. And it's just absolute crap. Again, we have to sit and watch 90 minutes of pure dross. I mean, that first half, my God. You know, we didn't really threaten Leicester at all in that first half. You know, the team was as expected, really. You know, we went with Darlow in goal. We've got Yedlin, the back three of Clark, Fernandez and Shah. At left back, he stuck with Ritchie at left wing back, sorry. So we expected Lewis to come in. Lewis wasn't involved at all today, so not sure where he was. Middle of the park, we went with the two Longstaffs. I didn't particularly mind that. I thought he might play Sean alongside Matty. We went with Almiron, Joe Linton and Wilson. Murphy, the man to come out of that forward line. I mean, what do you say about Joe Linton? What do you say about Joe Linton? I actually tweeted out after 12 minutes of the game saying he was our best player so far. And hence, so far. You know, he'd made a good couple of runs. He'd got some good tackles in. He played some good passes. He looked quite alive. But after that, he disappeared. And he ended up having the first touch. I mean, my God, he can't trap a bag of sand, man. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. And I do not know what he warrants to get in this starting 11. Somebody put on Twitter to me that he's been one of our best performers this season. I mean, what kind of fans are looking at Joe Linton saying things like that? I mean, everybody's got their own opinion, fair enough. I don't mind that. But when they start having a go at me, actually having a go, because they think Joe Linton is out and out one of our best performers of the season, when I already said, it's your opinion, fine, no problem, and then having a go at me, it's pathetic. The whole thing was pathetic from start to finish today. And I'm back to the drawing board with me bloody rants on here, because there's nowhere else I can rant apart from reviewing a game of football. And enough's enough, man. You know, the first half was like watching paint dry. Second half, we came out, we looked a bit more alive in the start of the second half. And then Leicester hit us with a sucker punch. You know, Vardy gets down the left-hand side, cuts it back, and Maddison, what a finish that was. Just put his head down, laces through it, as you're supposed to do, 1-0 Leicester. And it was coming. You know, from all we've said that we started the second half well, the goal was coming all the time. It was only a matter of time before Leicester scored. And then again, we the second goal, I mean, what a finish from Tielemans, but nobody picked him up. You know, he's just strolling along the edge of the 18-yard box. Not one Newcastle player thinks, I better mark him. No. The ball just gets cut back to him. He's got the whole of St James's Park to himself. Beautiful finish. Curled it round Shah into the corner. No chance for Carl Darlow. Fair enough. You know, hats off to a fantastic strike from Tielemans. But the marking, again, is non-existent. And then we're 2-0 down. Now, This is where you want to see your team show a bit of fight, show a bit of guts, show a bit of spirit. Some of those players strolling around that pitch as if it's a summer goddamn holiday. You know, and this is where it gets me, because Steve Bruce stands there like a lemon on the sidelines. He just doesn't bollock anybody. He's not showing any aggression, any passion. You know, he's watching players knock the ball back 40 yards to the goalkeeper. It's got to stop. You know, we're in good attacking areas, yet we decide to come backwards. Sean Longstaff, by the way, being one of those players, what's happened to that guy that used to, you know, I remember Bournemouth last season, if anybody does remember the win at Bournemouth, when he played in a kind of number 10 role, and he was coming forward, he scored a fantastic goal. Where's that Sean Longstaff gone? I mean, where? He gets the ball now and his immediate reaction is to turn and pass it backwards. Not good enough, Sean, at all. Matty is way ahead of you at the minute. Matty Longstaff just puts in a shift. From the start to the finish, puts in a shift. He's winning balls. He's one of those players that will win the ball and just give it to the more creative players. And that's what we want from a ball-winning midfielder. He wins the ball, he lays it off and lets the creative players do their job. Creative players. Really. Callum Wilson has no service, just has nothing. He's got nothing to feed on. However, I will say there was a couple of times during this match that there was a couple of balls, particularly second half. Yedlin put a fantastic ball in. Nobody gambled on it. And then in the last 5 minutes, Shelvey knocks a beautiful ball back across the 6-yard box. There's nobody gambling again. I mean, come on. You know, if we're going to get goals, somebody has got to gamble. You think Jamie Vardy would be standing there waiting for that ball to be knocked across the 6-yard area and not bother going for it? Hell no. He'd be sniffing around like a rat looking for a goal. And as soon as that ball came across, you could guarantee somebody like Vardy would be there. So I'm a bit disappointed with Callum Wilson that he didn't really make an effort to get on the end of that. But I'm not blaming Callum Wilson at all, because he works his arse off up there for nothing. He gets as much service as, well, a closed little chef. It's just, I mean, Andy Carroll comes on and everybody then has a go saying, oh, why not Dwight Gale? Andy Carroll, for me, changed the game in our favour. You know, he scored that really good goal. I mean, he's really composed, lovely left foot volley into the bottom corner. And he looked a threat. And you could tell Leicester were very, very wary of him and balls coming in. But the quality of the deliveries into the box towards the likes of Wilson and Carroll in that last 10 minutes was absolute ball bag. Absolute bollocks. You know, and as a striker, you know, when you've got Andy Carroll in there, you've got Callum Wilson in there. Two players who are very, very good in the air. You want quality balls. Shelvey couldn't hit a barn door. Terrible, terrible crossing from Shelvey. You'd expect so much better. Best crosser of the ball today by a mile was DeAndre Yedlin. And again, he is one of my standout players today. So if I go and rate the players, Darlow didn't have a lot to do in the game. Didn't have many saves to make. Didn't have a chance with the goals, to be fair to him. So a straight, you know, average of 7 for him, because he wasn't put to the test greatly in this game. Which says a lot. It does say a lot. Yedlin, for me, I'm going to give an 8. Again, very good defensively, good getting forward, one of our better players, undoubtedly. The back three, again, I think were quite sound. Shah gave the ball away a couple of times, so I'm giving him a 7. Clark and Fernandez, both an 8. I thought, again, they were very, very solid. Clark likes to get forward as well. He's good at bringing the ball out, Kieran Clark, and that's what I like to see from a central defender. Richie on the left-hand side, better than he performed against Liverpool. He was more in the game, so a 7 for him. The two midfielders, Sean Longstaff, 5. Matty Longstaff, a good solid 8. I thought, you know, wherever you looked in the midfield, Matty was there running his arse off as usual. Almiron, I did tweet out that I was disappointed he came off. That's because we needed a goal, okay? But the start of that second half, Almiron had 2 wonderful opportunities to play Callum Wilson in, and the passing was just shite. It was dreadful. So Miggy, a 5, I'm sorry. Joe Linton, first 12 minutes, as I said earlier on, I was impressed. He put himself about. He was making some nice passes and getting stuck in. After that, he disappeared. Couldn't trap a bag of sand. So a 5 for Joe Linton. I do not see what he brings to the team, and I never will. Everybody's got their opinion on Joe Linton, and I'm sorry. The guy's just not good enough. He's just not good enough. Callum Wilson, a 7 for me, simply because he worked his ass off again, but he could have got in those couple of chances when we were, those dangerous balls across the 6-yard box. He should have been on the end of them. But, like I say, I'm not coming down on Callum Wilson because the man, he just gets fed up. You can tell. I mean, he gets the ball and he's looking up and there's no fucker there. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Steve Bruce, a 4. He just... The man doesn't have a plan B. It's clear. He does not have a plan B. You can see him standing on the sidelines when we're a goal or 2 down, and he hasn't got a bloody clue what he's doing. You can see him talking to Clements and Agnew, and you're thinking, who's the manager here? Who is the manager? Who is making the decisions? Stop waiting to being told what you should do, Steve, and actually make a decision yourself. So we lose the game, right? And, you look at the league table now, we're only 8 points off Fulham. Now, granted, Fulham aren't the greatest team in the world. Are they going to pull them 8 points back? They just well might. We can't stop not looking over our shoulders at the bottom of that league because we know what the Premier League's like. Certainly this season, anybody can pick off anybody, apart from Newcastle, of course, or Sheffield United. But you're guaranteed we play them in a few games' time. Sheffield United haven't won a game. You know what's coming. I just don't have any faith in Steve Bruce. I've got no faith in some of those players anymore because some of them are lazy, bone idle, don't give a shit. And the ones that do, I feel really sorry for because, you can tell they're playing for the team, they're playing for the fans. The rest of the time, they're just looking around thinking, where's the support? And Callum Wilson, poor lad, must be thinking, why did I come here? I could have gone to another club and scored a hatful more goals because they would provide for me and give me the opportunities that I need to score goals. But nobody does that for Callum Wilson. And we're stuck in a rut. It could have been 5 games without a bloody goal had Andy Carroll not scored. We don't look like we're going to score goals. We don't threaten. But I tell you one thing we do, we do look better when we attack teams. And I've said this since the start of the season, that we look better when we attack. But for some reason, Bruce will not take the shackles off this team. He just won't. It doesn't matter who we play. He won't take the shackles off. And we can say as much as we want about Steve Bruce, but that's the situation we find ourselves in. The man is a buffoon. He's incapable of changing anything on the pitch. He's way out his depth in the Premier League. He is not a Premier League manager, and his stats prove that. And I will bang on and bang on and bang on about that for months to come, as long as he's managing my football club. So, yes, another disappointing defeat. We've got nothing to show from that game because we didn't deserve anything. I mean, don't get us wrong, had we got an equaliser, I would have been happy as Larry, but, let's face it, we didn't deserve anything again. We weren't good enough. But what do you do? I'd just like to say that I am going to do my first ever live stream, hopefully tomorrow night. So do keep an eye on Twitter and I'll let you know the time that I'm going on. It'll be my first ever live stream. It's going to be the transfer video, so I'd love loads of people to come on. Onto the YouTube channel, put loads of comments in about who you want. We'll have a big discussion on the live stream and see how we go on it. I've never done a live before, so it'll be the first time doing it, so do come along and help me with that. If you are new to the channel, like I always say, do hit the subscription button if you like what you've seen. I want to be a big football channel here. I'm going to be bringing a Premier League video out shortly, assessing where everybody is at after the festive period and see who's favourites to go down, favourites to win the title, etc. And any transfer news from any other team, really. So do hit the subscription button. Thank you very much to everyone for watching. Please smash the like button because it does help me build this channel. And, well, all I can say is try and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. After that absolute shower of shite again, we've got nothing really to celebrate on a Sunday. Once again, thanks to Steve Bruce and his hierarchy and everything else that other bit of shite that flows through the man. I'm just fed up of him. I'm just fed up of him, and I know what he's gonna. I'm not even listening to his press conference because I've come up and done the video as soon as the match is finished because I just know the normal shite that he's gonna come out with. Well, we were tired after the Liverpool game and Leicester had a week off. All of this crap. And it's people are starting to do impersonations of Steve Bruce now because he's pathetically coming out with the same crap week in, week out. People are laughing at him and he doesn't even realise. But hey ho, it finished. Newcastle United 1, Leicester City 2. I'm sorry, it's not a more positive video. I'd have loved it to have been, but again, Steve Bruce lets me down. Once again, Newcastle United don't perform. Leicester come away with the 3 points. Leicester City deserved it. 2 magnificent goals. But again, we just let ourselves down, didn't we? But thank you very much for watching. Do stay tuned to Twitter and I'll let you know what time I'm live streaming. It'll be the transfer video. Please, please, please all join in. Leave some comments during the live stream. I'll put them up on the screen and we'll have a talk about who you think should be transfer targets or where you think we should be going team-wise altogether, not just transfers. And what do you think of the season so far? So I'm very much looking forward to doing that. So please keep an eye on Twitter and I'll let you know what time that's going live. It'll probably be about 8 o'clock, but we'll see. But again, thank you very much for watching, guys. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. Take care.
Be strong.